So Woody and I have been doing the show, I mean, maybe almost 20 years. I don't know that we've ever had a segment where we covered testicular cancer, freestyle motocross, and auto body collision repair work in one segment.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're attempting to do today. So this is a groundbreaker right here. And we've got a bunch of people in the studio, maybe more than we can handle. So much that Chelsea doesn't even have a microphone. She's the odd man out. But Brian from Bodyworks Plus is here, and Mark from the Save a Nut Foundation is here. Do I have all this right so far?
Yep.
Yes,
so
we're going nuts.
Brian, I'm going to let you start and explain how all of this ties together, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, I grew up in the business. My dad, I'm going to go back to the history, but I'll give you the full spiel. But my dad helped a guy get into the business down in Fayetteville. He was a full colonel, retired military in Vietnam and Korea. So again, it kind of gave me a place to work growing up as a kid. So I grew up in the business. Then I came to Charlotte and went to engineering school. So I actually have an engineering degree is what I went to school for. And I was in the corporate world for a long time, about 10 years, working for a big bearing company down in Fort Mill. Ena Bearing, it's Scheffler Bearing now. But anyway, fast forward, just got kind of tired of that corporate world and decided to give it a whirl. So I cashed out my 401k, and I had a good friend that had this piece of property downtown in Charlotte in NODA originally. So operated out of there since 1998. And, of course, NODA market is just booming. So I got a good offer on the property back earlier in the year, and I sold that property in April. So, I'm a little young to retire. I'm 53 now, and I really love the business, and it's something that I'm very, very passionate about. And I think with my background in mechanical engineering, I bring a unique, element, I think, to the collision industry. A lot of people are kind of look at the industry as, fixing cars out in their backyard and using come-alongs to tied up to trees to straighten stuff. And those days are gone. I mean, the cars are so complicated now, just in the last 2 or 3 years with all the safety systems, they've come a long way. So anyway, I sold the property, and I was fortunate to find this new place off of 24th Street, and it was an opportunity zone, which, has some good tax benefits. So I flipped that cash into this new building, and it was an old warehouse, old Bow Trust building. So completely went through, renovated it, and just really, kind of built my dream shop in an older location. So it's a little modern, retro. It's got some wood finishes, cool old steel. I'm still in the process. The city's got some facade grant stuff, so I'm wrapping up the front of the building. But, I just really, Charlotte and NODAVs, they've been great to me. The town's been really good to me. And I think over the years, Charles and I have gotten, better and better as far as marketing and advertising. And of course, I met Mark not too long ago to help kind of document the videos of the construction of the shop. So we got it completed now. We moved in back in August, and I just really want to make sure that people know we're here. And I think giving back to the community is a huge thing. And Mark's involved with testicular cancer, that foundation, Save a Nut. And I've actually had a couple of scares in my life twice. And fortunately, it was something that wasn't an issue. But it does scare us, and I think something that men don't talk about a lot. So when he mentioned that, and just the videos he had already put together with the progress of building the shop, I just thought it was a great match, and it's a great way for, I think, Bodyworks Plus to give back and really help men, and I think have a nice party to celebrate what I've been able to accomplish to this point. And Keith Sayers, a good friend of mine, Ted Culbertson out of Montana, has a shop, Top Gun. Him and Keith Sayers were basically traveled circuit and with Monster and Red Bull, and they're some amazing athletes. And Ted has since retired, but Keith still has a business doing that. So I thought, he's had them do his shop a couple of times when they do events, and I thought it would be really cool to get those guys out from Montana out west and come here and really, put on a nice show. And then, of course, you guys and Charles and the marketing putting this together, I'm just really excited to be here.
So for somebody who's just joining us, let me see if I've got this right. It's sort of a grand opening party.
Exactly.
For your new location.
Correct.
As part of that, there'll be freestyle motocross by Keith Sayers.
Correct.
And somehow we're raising money to help prevent testicular cancer.
Correct.
Got it. I nailed it in. Look at that.
That's it. I think I was long-winded there, but
no, what's okay. I mean,
I think it's important to talk about the history because
100%.
It is, and I think just a really culmination of a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and some great people, and we just want to celebrate and really bring the Bodyworks Plus name to the forefront, as well as really making people understand how important being safe with cancer and checking that, but then also too keeping families safe and really understanding what it's about to fix cars right, because it's unfortunately, and this is something I want to make sure, I think a lot of the audience doesn't know, but body shops and collision shops aren't licensed in North Carolina, so there's really no way for consumers to really pick a good shop. So the shops that are highly certified, so we get endorsed by the manufacturer, whether it's Tesla, Honda, Acura, and we've got 20 plus certifications. And so really for consumers to look for a good shop, they get influenced a little bit by the insurance industry, sometimes very hard depending on the insurance company. But, having the consumers really understand they have a choice, and that, finding a shop that's got a good reputation and that is capable of fixing your car correctly. Because, there's babies and families riding around in them, and, people just there's no standard. Like in the medical industry, there's a standard of care, but in the collision industry, there's not.
Yeah, you're right. That is something I don't think I didn't know that.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. A lot of people don't know that.
Every time I say that to a mom or a woman or anybody, you got to be licensed to cut hair and do nails, but you can hang up a sign and fix $100,000 car, and there's no.
That's mind blowing.
Does it make sense?
No, that doesn't make any sense at all.
It is, and I think this it's a great platform to start educating consumers, especially with all the new safety systems on the cars, and they've come a really long way, but they're no good if they don't get repaired correctly and put back on the road so they function. And I think it's it's kind of one of those things that's hiding in the weeds. People don't really realize the seriousness of that. So
what do you have to do to have somebody do freestyle motocross in front of your business? Is that like
who did you call?
Well, do you tell anybody, or do you ask forgiveness later? How does that work?
I think I've done a really good job helping the police, and I always take care of the firefighters, police, and everyone that helps us. So I think it's all about knowing the right people, right?
Okay.
Right.
And like, is the street going to be shut down? Is he just waiting for the red light?
Yeah.
Like, how does this work?
No, I think it's kind of cool because they're building apartments behind us. So there's one back street that's kind of a nice little block we can close off, and it's plenty of room. There's grass fields on both sides. So I'm thinking we'll set up a little line and be able to, when he runs, we'll have people could gather on the grass beside it, and he'll have the ramp set up on the street. So I think it's a perfect spot. So I think it'll work out really good. And he's going to run 3 different times. So we're going to start, I think the schedule, we're kind of nailing that down, but he's going to do a noon run, a 2 o'clock run, and then we're going to wrap up at 4 o'clock.
And we have live music going on in between that too.
Yeah.
Food trucks, booths, and all that stuff, vendors and all that. So
it's a huge party for the whole family.
It's a great time.
It is. Yeah, and we've got we got a little bit of Christmas flair with some. Santa Claus is going to be there, so we got a Santa Claus. I think we got
some elves too.
Yeah, I got some elves.
So.
And I got somebody do some balloons and face painting and that kind of stuff. So we're still working it out. We have a couple of vendors coming out of the woodwork related to motocross. I talked to the guys at 10 Cycles. I bought a motorcycle from there. I love riding adventure bikes, so those guys are going to be there. So we're still working hard on the vendors, but I'm sure we're going to have a great turnout.
Yeah, we're going nuts with it. So exactly.
But no, I'm glad you said that, Mark, because Save a Nut Foundation. Is that right?
Technically, it's just Save a Nut.
Save a Nut.
Yeah, just Save a Nut. It just explains exactly how it is. Save a nut, save a life, so kind of thing. So
it is important, I think, because obviously in this case we're talking about testicular cancer. You have to have some fun with your not so fun conversation.
So, because with cancer, it's such a detrimental kind of thing. That was something actually, testicular cancer was what I went through back in 2017. I didn't even know it was a thing when I first dealt with it. I'm like, I can't believe this has happened to me. And then all of a sudden, I it was the worst thing ever. So I was trying to figure out, all right, what can I do to like kind of help myself get through it. And I was looking for organizations around here in Charlotte. There actually isn't any aside from us in Charlotte that's raising awareness or doing anything for testicular cancer. I reached out to Testicular Cancer Foundation. They're actually national, but they've been actually helping us like kind of like really get our feet in the ground here and doing stuff and establish ourselves in Charlotte. And we've been running for like 3 years, doing a bunch of different events.
How old were you, Mark, when you had that happen?
2 years ago. No, 5 years ago now actually. So 25. No, actually no, 23. So,
23.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And what's the age range again?
Yeah, so it's like one of the most common cancers for males, 15 to 34 actually. So like I didn't know that was the thing until I started doing research, looking up facts and trying to figure out what's going on and all that. And like no one that I knew actually knew about it. So I was like, I wanted to just kind of like keep raising awareness. And like I've heard of like Save the Boobies for breast cancer, but I'm like, what about our boys? What about Save a Nut? So let's make Save a Nut like the whole thing and all that. So yeah, and just kind of like help like lighten the blow of like how dealing with cancer and kind of like having fun with it and like and creating that conversation for guys, especially if it's something down here like with nuts. Like, man, that's such a hard thing because it's like involves your manhood and like masculinity. Like even try to have that conversation with other guys is like such a like tough thing because I've spoken to other guys who have went through it themselves. Sometimes they just kind of brush it underneath the rug and never talk about it again. But for me, like I want to make the best out of my situation, like help people and like like save all the nuts. So
right. You should never brush your testicles under the rug.
Exactly. So
We've been saying that for years.
Well, and I think what we're saying here is ask your bros about their nuts.
Yeah, gotta make sure they're okay. So
yeah. I mean, you're right, honestly, because guys typically don't go to the doctor for anything,
they don't.
let alone that.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna be like, hey. Look at my nuts. Not nobody, but Woody would. But most people.
But yeah, like as like we've been doing this thing, more and more guys have actually come out of the woodwork and actually wanted to like have that conversation with us. Like I've talked to other guys who like really did like just deal with it and not want to talk about what they've been going through. But what we've been doing is like it's helped inspire other guys to like really like join our group and then meeting all the other guys for the Testicular Cancer Foundation and like their national like group and like going to their events and talking to them about and meeting other guys who have went through much worse than what I went through is like really helps like kind of create a brotherhood of like guys who are really taking care of each other, watching out for each other, even like their partners and their caretakers, people who take care of them. Like they come to these events and I want to bring that to Charlotte and like do like mental health support groups, like events like what we're doing with Nuts and Wheels and like raise awareness and help people educate themselves. Because like with my situation, I was able to catch it early enough where I didn't have to go through like stage 2, stage 3 or anything like that, or even deal with chemo. And so that's the whole goal with Save a Nut is like we're trying to like help guys catch it early enough, make sure they watch it for those symptoms to catch it early enough so you don't have to deal with it any worse. So.
But you did, I mean, sensitive subject, but I have a feeling you're cool with it. You did lose one?
Yeah, I did. I did lose my left testicle. Like, I had to do the surgery because there was like a tumor in the left one. Like, and I like so the unlucky part was I had to do a surgery and lose one. But that's all I had to deal with. It's like no chemo, no radiation treatment. Like I had an 85% chance of like being cancer free. I'm like, I'm just gonna take that. I don't need to deal with like any chemo or anything like that. So I'm like, and yeah, ever since 5 years I've been good. So cancer free. So
I mean, all right, let's stay on this for a second for somebody who doesn't know. Like, what was your first symptom? Is it pain or you see something wrong?
Yeah, it was definitely like a little like weird stinging pain in my left testicle. And then I looked down, I'm like, it actually, the tumor was pretty large and all that stuff. So like we went to, did the like a radical orchiectomy, which is like technically looking inside, doing like a biopsy type to see what you're dealing with. And then they determined, okay, we do have to like just cut this one out because otherwise it would spread to like my abdomen or my lungs or in my chest area. So luckily we were able to catch it early enough. And I still go to Levine Cancer Institute for blood work, CT scans, but ever since then, just maintaining, keeping watch over it. And sometimes that's like the best thing you can do, and like you don't have to worry. And that's one of the best scenarios that I could have looked for. And I'm hoping to help other guys make sure they can get that scenario too. So
good for you. I mean, that's awesome that you're doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially if nobody's doing it in Charlotte.
Yeah, I was surprised myself too. So like we've been doing events since like 2018. We started off with an event called Paint Your Balls Out, where we make like awesome canvases, like showing how you can make balls look beautiful, kind of thing. So it wasn't actually like
There's some great pictures.
Yeah,
too,
there were some great pictures.
Yeah.
We did like an upside down 3, so way it doesn't look like actual nuts. But then people like made like beautiful paintings from like Peter Griffin's chin, like dandelions, things like that. So that was one of my favorite ones, and we did those for 2 years, and now we're doing nuts and wheels with Brian, Bodyworks Plus.
Yeah. I just, when he was talking about it, it just I had that light bulb go off, and I thought, what better way can we start this out and really try to help. And obviously the goal is for us to raise money, so we're gonna have a silent auction going on, and I've got a lot of like our paint vendor PPG, we're a certified PPG body shop, and what that does is anybody that we do paint work on their cars, they get a lifetime warranty throughout the US. So anybody that has the credentials and stays certified as far as their painters, and they go to yearly training, PPG guarantees their paint for life. So it's a really good thing for us, and they're going to be involved. They do some stuff for us on a regular basis to just bring awareness to the collision industry as a whole. So so we've got a lot of other vendors too. You were involved with I know Levine
Cancer Tube. They're going to be there too, so they have a representative. My doctor actually is going to help be there and talk to everybody there about raising awareness for this kind of stuff and all. And then we have a bunch of different vendors, like breweries are going to be there, and then it's going to be a great time. So,
and Blumenthal Performing Arts, they're actually a neighbor of mine at the shop. They have a building that they're renting where they keep a lot of their equipment, and so they're donating, the chairs, tables, all that kind of stuff. And there's a couple of, just a great team over there. Dan and Rodney do a great job, and Meredith is kind of, one of the coordinators. But they offered to give us some tickets for some events, so we'll auction those off too. So I think it's something that we could really build from, and I know Mark's got some really good ideas.
Oh yeah, we got T-shirts coming out with us too, like a Bodyworks Plus Save a Nut collaboration T-shirt. So we'll be selling those at the event too. We got some wristbands, got those ordered too. So so we'll make sure you guys get some too. So
I would love that. I mean, I've already seen like on the website, there's the thing where the squirrel is on a motocross bike jumping over Charlotte.
Yeah, that was all Mark. That was his idea. I think we brainstormed, but you did all the artwork on that. Did a really nice job.
That's amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I guess you can go to bodyworksplus.com to get information.
Yep. Yeah, and then on our Facebook page, and then yours, Mark, where do they go?
Oh, you can go on Instagram at Save a Nut. That's just how it's spelled, SAVEANUT, Save a Nut, and then saveanut.org is our website too. So you can find out all the information of what we're doing to help raise awareness, help funnel people who are looking for help to like find that help, whether it's like actual medical attention or just finding a mental health support group. So
bodyworksplus.com, and then also our Facebook. I think it's just Bodyworks Plus.
Yeah, we have all the information there,
and then there's a place you can register on the Facebook, and I know it's on yours too. And if you want to donate, that would be awesome. If you want to, if you can come to the event, we'd love to have you. If you want to donate a little something for Mark and his organization, and or if you want to donate some kind of gift that we could put up for silent auction, we just need a logo that we can add, and we'll print it and laminate it and put it on the table. So I think it's a great thing, and it'll be fun. And the band that's coming, and I feel terrible, I can't remember the name of the band. Do you remember?
I can't remember the name right now either. So, but I heard they're great. So
they are great. They're going to be disappointed. We probably need to. I probably should look that up. Do you remember, Charles?
So wait a second. Gears, fans, freestyle motocross.
Yes.
Bodyworks Plus.
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
and saving nuts.
Saving nuts.
Yeah. That's it.
I heard, but there was Santa mentioned too.
Yes. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He's the one that's actually going to be doing the testicle checks.
No, I don't think that's right. Santa's not checking nuts, right?
The elves are. The elves are.
The elves, yeah.
The elves are.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Is Neighbor showing up as an elf? I think he has a costume.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys were able to come by and share all the information.
Absolutely.
Well,
we really
cool.
appreciate it. And, you guys do a great job out there. You really do. So we're honored to have you put this together. So
and
really
it's a free family fun, family friendly event. So anyone can come out and then check it out. So, yeah.
The more the merrier.
Yes, more the merrier, honestly. Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to go nuts with it. So, go nuts or go home. Honestly, you don't go home if you're not going to go nuts.
Well, I can tell you, to be that close to seeing these guys do this motocross stuff right next to them where the ramps are, I think it's going to be something that Keith, brought. He's bringing an extra guy, and all three of them can do backflips. So I think it's something that you're not going to see unless you go to a big event, and it's going to be right there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
216 West 24th Street.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
Perfect.